Hello and welcome to another instalment of Jonny's Journal. It is the 31st of July and this is just a bit of an update really on what's happened in the last 3 or 4 days. So nothing in particular, just a mixture of different things. I think it's been exciting, a lot's happened. First things first, massive congratulations to Manchester United goalkeeper Siobhan Chamberlain on the announcement of her pregnancy. Kind of makes sense now with our final signing with Mary Earps, but yeah, so that's obviously breaking news yesterday. I think I saw that on Twitter. I'm not too sure how the contracts work with the women's team, so presumably she's under contract for at least another 2 or 3 years. It just, if anyone knows how that would work now, with her not being able to play or work, I'm sure she'll have some involvement in the club in somehow, but not sure how. So yeah, just let me know about how that would work. I don't know. Carrying on with the women's team firstly, I'm not going to spend the whole video talking about the women's team because I've done that on my last video, but today is a day where we are playing in Norway. So I know a few fans have gone over there. I've saw some of the stuff on their Twitter. And I saw Casey Stoney on MU TV yesterday during the men's game, kind of giving away who she's going to be playing, who's not going to be playing. It's going to be on MU TV later, so I'll be watching that. I think it's about 5 o'clock-ish, so I'll be able to watch that. Casey did say that some of the people who was in the World Cup wouldn't be playing today. Just wanted to give them a bit of a rest. So I presume that would be the likes of Jackie Groonan and Alex Greenwood, Abby McManus. She did say the 2 Scottish girls would possibly be playing, so look out for those. I'm looking forward to it now. I'm looking forward to just seeing the girls actually play in the new season. I appreciate they played behind closed doors against Blackburn earlier in the month, but that was, that's nothing. I don't think this will be any indication on any formations or any personnel. I think it's just a case of getting everyone together and having a bit of a run out. Obviously, playing a Norwegian team in Norway will be completely different to playing Man City at the Etihad in a few weeks' time, about a month's time, 5 weeks' time. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to watching that. And that brings me on to the men's team now. So the men's team won yesterday 1-0 against Kristiansund, also in Oslo. It was one of them games where it didn't really mean too much. I think it meant more to Ollie than it did to anybody else. I think it was a nice touch from whoever's organised it, whether it be the Glazers or Woodward or whoever's in charge of this kind of stuff. I think it was a nice touch for Ollie. It doesn't really mean too much for Man United and the supporters or anybody else. I think it was just a nice touch that it was his hometown where his son plays, who came on with about five minutes to go. He had his other son actually sitting next to him on the bench where Mike Phelan was usually sits. And I think that was all for Ollie really, and the reception that he got from both sets of supporters was great, and you can tell how much he enjoyed it as well. So yeah, the game itself, a lot of fans were saying it was boring, a lot of negativity because it was only a 1-0 win scored in the last minute, which was a penalty. But I think, what do you expect really? You're not going to go all out in that game. It's not like against Tottenham where you want to kind of see where you are, and it's not, it's not really that important, is it? So I think there were some things to be impressed with. Not a lot, I'm not really bigging up the performance at all, but I think it's just nice to see the youngsters getting continuous games. The new signings, Wan-Bissaka and James, has done well again. Pogba in the second half was okay. I mean, it didn't blow me away, but not many players did blow me away really, apart from maybe McTominay in the first half. I think he was probably the man of the match again. So he's getting consistent, isn't he? and potentially he's going to overtake Matic throughout this season. And you know, it could be, if Pogba stays, it could really be him and Pogba holding that centre midfield. Who would have thought that this time last season? So the game itself, I mean, if for those of you who didn't watch it or who hasn't watched it on MUTV just yet, I think it's worth a watch. I'd probably just watch the highlights. I wouldn't go watching the whole match, but it was nice to see so many players get run out again. He had a team in the first half and then a team after about 60 minutes. Greenwood did okay. He had a couple of chances. Jonny, I don't think it was as impressive as other matches, but I don't think any player was impressive apart from McTominay really. The goal itself was a great pass from Pogba, who playing Mata through. Mata went down in the box. I don't think it was a penalty. I don't think Mata thought it was a penalty, but Mata took the penalty and scored. And that's it. It was 1-0, and that's pretty much it really. We had a few shots on target. Their goalkeeper played really well, managed to save quite a few, and their defence got quite a few blocks in as well. Pogba was like this close to getting his foot on it, but their defence just got in there before Pogba did. So a lot of fans were saying it was boring. I don't think it was boring. I don't think it was impressive. I don't think it was an impressive performance, but I don't know if it's just the novelty of pre-season or the novelty of playing our youth players, but I'm still fairly excited watching these games. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many of these young players will actually get a start in in the new season. Going forward, so I'm just making sure that it was still going around. Under 23s, so the fixtures have been announced for the under 18s and under 23s. Good news for myself. Next week, I think it's next week, I'll put the dates on my Twitter. Under 23s will be playing away against Albion. Is it Albion first? Yes, it's Albion first at the Kidderminster ground, which is about 10 minutes from my house. So I'll be able to watch that away game, and I'll also be able to watch the away game the following month against Villa at the Walsall Stadium. So a couple of matches I'll be able to watch there. It'll be interesting to see who's actually playing now, because with Jonny and Greenwood and Gomez, you know, will they appear in the first team instead of the under 23s? Personally, I don't think that they will. I think there's still going to be enough players to keep them out of the senior team at the moment. But I guess each game's different. If in playing a weaker team, then maybe Greenwood will be on the bench, which obviously means that he won't be with the under 23s that weekend. Still early days, but great to see them taking the opportunities really. Yes, so that's the under 23s. Looking forward to that one. And then lastly, a few rumours and transfer speculations broke yesterday regarding Lukaku. So I don't know where this has come from. Literally all summer he's been going to Inter Milan for 75 million, there or thereabouts. And in the last 3 or 4 days, Juventus are getting in there, who've spent millions already. But it came to light a little bit more yesterday, last night, at about 11 o'clock, when Sky Sports in Italy broke the news that a deal has been agreed in principle, a swap deal. So Lukaku to Juventus and Dybala to United, which I think is a great move for United fans. Not because we're going to get a good player, not because we're just going to get rid of Lukaku, but Lukaku at the moment is just a waste of a player because he's just not playing, is he? He's not playing. I don't think that there's any intention to play him in the first team. So we've got a new addition to the squad basically. I know it's just a swap deal, but it's going to be a player who's going to improve the first 11. Where he's going to play, I saw someone put something on Twitter this morning. I think the guy was pretty much right. I did comment on it. As a guess, you'd expect him to play behind Martial and Rashford, with Pogba and McTominay behind. Where Fernandes would fit in, if Fernandes comes, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because it really is now 8 days to go before the end of the transfer window. As things stand, we've got the likes of Everton, Wolves and Leicester, who's potentially looking better than us, who could catch us up. But if we get those three signings that we've been on about for the past 2 months, with Maguire, Fernandes and now Dybala as a swap, all of a sudden you're looking like challenging for third. So it really does hang on a bit of a knife thread there. So yeah, let's see what happens there. So yeah, that's about it for this video. Just a bit of a catch up really, about what's happened in the last 4 days. I feel like a fair bit's happened. I still don't know what's going to happen with the transfer window. Still got 8 days to go, but it seems like when more and more reporters, credible reporters, are talking about things, it does seem to be, you know, fueling the fire a little bit. So let's see. Like I say, we've still got 8 days to go. I think something will happen with Maguire. I think it's Fernandes now who I'm kind of worried about, because is this Dybala one? If this one goes through, does that mean that he won't get Fernandes? That'll be a shame, because I think a lot of fans would prefer Fernandes, but because he's more suited to like the position on the field where we need him. But yeah, either way, I think if we get all three of them, I think all of a sudden the Man United fans will get a bit more excited again. I still think that they'll be pushing for Glazer out, because I don't think, you know, we've done half as much as what we should be doing, and don't forget the history of the Glazers in the last 10 years or so. So I don't think the Glazer out movement will stop, but I do think it adds a bit of excitement to the Man United fans, and that's what we deserve. You know, if you have a look at how much that we've stood next to our club the past few years with us on the decline, I think we need that bit of excitement. And it is only a swap deal, don't forget the Dybala and Lukaku, so it's not like we've spent loads of money. It is just, you know, it is just a swap. A player who's not really performing very well for us, to someone who could potentially be the difference with that creativity for Rashford and Martial and other players who play around him. It's also interesting as well as two former Chelsea managers are the ones who want to sign Lukaku. You know, Sarri and Conte, which is, you know, that's interesting, especially considering at one point Lukaku was going to go to Chelsea instead of Man United. So yeah, that's where we are. I'm on my way home now. I've been on holiday for a few days, just in Worcester at our caravan. So I'm going to go home and start looking forward to the Man United women's match. And I'm sure I'll put some reactions out either over the weekend regarding that match and anything else that's happened. So that's it for me, thank you. Please feel free to jump on my Twitter. I have got 2,000 subscribers now, so I'll do a bit of a thank you video for that over the weekend probably. So yeah, 2,000 Twitter followers, all Man United fans, apart from all the fake accounts that are probably on there. But yeah, 2,000 followers in 3 months, I'm really happy with that really. So thank you, and please subscribe, comment, all that kind of stuff. John Foster MUFC, that's JON Foster MUFC on Twitter. Thanks guys.